What if spending just $5 today could save you hundreds or even your peace of mind tomorrow? Picture this. 6 months from now, you walk into your local store. Shelves are half empty. Prices are skyrocketing, and a gallon of milk costs $15. Cash, practically worthless. But you're calm. Why? Because you stocked up on 9 dirt-cheap items long before anyone else even realized they'd need them. I'm Mike, and I've been studying supply chain breakdowns and prepping strategies since 2014. Here's the hard truth. Most prepping advice out there focuses on flashy, expensive gear, solar generators, $500 food buckets, and high-tech gadgets. But when the system cracks, it's not the big-ticket items that save you. It's the small, overlooked essentials, most under $10, that become worth their weight in gold. Think back to early 2024. Minor supply chain hiccups caused everyday items like matches, bottled water, and manual can openers to vanish from shelves. Prices tripled overnight. Those who had them, they were prepared. Those who didn't, they panicked. Today, I'm breaking down 9 specific items you can grab right now, cheap, simple, and life-saving. These are the things that disappear first when the economy falters. And trust me, number 9 is something most people don't even think about until it's too late. Let's dive in. One emergency manual can opener. Let's talk about one of the most overlooked yet essential tools for survival. The manual can opener. It's small, cheap, and often forgotten until you need it. Here's the scenario. The power's out, the shelves are bare, and you've got a pantry stocked with canned goods. Beans, soups, vegetables, you name it. But there's one problem. You don't have a way to open them. Suddenly, all that food you thought would keep you alive is useless. This is where the humble manual can opener becomes a lifesaver. Unlike electric openers that rely on power or fancy gadgets that break under pressure, a manual can opener is simple, reliable, and built to last. Think of the old school ones soldiers used decades ago. No batteries, no fragile parts, just pure functionality. You can grab a solid one for as little as $5 and it'll last you years, even decades if stored properly. According to prepping experts, this tiny tool is one of the first things to vanish during a supply chain breakdown. Why? Because everyone stocks up on canned food, but almost no one thinks about how they'll open it. Websites like Survival Frog and Happy Preppers list manual can openers as top survival items under $10. And for good reason. They're compact, corrosion-resistant, and incredibly versatile. Here's a pro tip. Don't just rely on the one in your kitchen. That's a rookie mistake. What happens if it rusts, breaks, or gets left behind when you're forced to evacuate? Smart preppers keep a dedicated emergency can opener in their go bag, car, or survival kit. Look for one with a lanyard loop, so it's easy to find in a hurry. And if you want to go even more old school, consider a P38 military-style can opener. You can get a 5-pack for under $5 and they're small enough to fit on a keychain. In a crisis, this little tool can mean the difference between eating and going hungry. It's not just about convenience, it's about survival. And if you're thinking ahead, it can even be used as a barter item. When others are struggling to open their food, you'll be the one with the solution. 2. Paracord, 550. Next up is one of the most versatile survival tools you can own, Paracord. It's not flashy, it's not expensive, but it's a game changer when the system breaks down. Originally designed for parachutes, 550 type Paracord is lightweight, incredibly strong, and can hold up to 550 pounds of weight. For just $5 you can grab a 50 to 100-foot roll that could literally hold your world together. Why is Paracord so valuable? Because it's not just a rope, it's a multi-tool. In a survival situation, you'll need cordage for everything. Tying down tarps, securing gear, building shelters, repairing broken straps, hanging food away from animals, the list goes on. And that's just the outer cord. Inside, there are 7 inner strands that can be pulled apart and used as fishing line, trap wire, or even emergency stitching thread. When the economy tanks and the grid goes dark, adaptability becomes your greatest asset. Paracord is the ultimate adaptable tool. It's reusable, durable, and takes up almost no space in your bag. But here's the catch. Not all paracord is created equal. The cheap knockoffs you find at dollar stores might look the same, but they'll snap when you actually need them. Always go for true 550 rated paracord from a trusted source. Pro tip, don't store it in one big tangled mess. Separate it into coils and color code them for different uses. For example, use yellow for shelter building, green for repairs, and black for securing gear. This simple system can save you precious time when every second counts. Another tip: store your paracord in a dry place to prevent it from degrading over time. And if you want to get fancy, you can even buy paracord survival bracelets or keychains. These compact tools keep a few feet of cordage on you at all times, ready to deploy in an instant. In a collapse, cordage becomes as valuable as gold. It's not the high-tech gadgets that save you. It's the simple, reliable tools that adapt to every problem. And Paracord, that's adaptability in your pocket. 3. Mylar Survival Blanket. At first glance, a Mylar survival blanket might not look like much. It's thin, shiny, and feels like a piece of foil. But don't let its simplicity fool you. In a crisis, this little item can literally save your life. Designed to reflect over 90% of your body heat, Mylar blankets are a lightweight, low-cost solution to one of the most critical survival needs: staying warm. Here's the thing: most people focus on bulky sleeping bags or expensive winter gear. But when the power goes out in the dead of winter or you're stranded on the road, those options aren't always practical. A Mylar blanket, on the other hand, costs less than $10, weighs almost nothing, and folds down smaller than your phone. You can stash one in your car, your go bag, or even your jacket pocket. According to Happy Preppers, you can get a 2-pack of Mylar blankets for under $10. And here's the kicker: this is the same material NASA uses for thermal control in space. That's right, space-level technology for the price of a coffee. So how do you use it? Wrap it around yourself to trap body heat, layer it under a sleeping bag for extra insulation, or tape it to the walls of a makeshift shelter to reflect warmth. In no-heat scenarios, this can mean the difference between life and death. And don't underestimate its barter value. In a supply chain collapse, warmth becomes a universal need. A few Mylar blankets could trade like currency. But here's the catch: Mylar blankets degrade over time, especially when exposed to heat and sunlight. Don't just toss them in your trunk and forget about them. Store them in a zip-sealed bag and replace them every few years if you're serious about preparedness. Pro tip: use one as a liner under your sleeping bag. It can double your insulation without adding bulk. And if you're really thinking ahead, keep a few extras on hand. They're cheap, lightweight, and could save not just your life, but someone else's too. When the temperatures drop and the grid goes dark, you'll be glad you invested in this simple, life-saving tool. And the best part: it's so small and affordable, there's no excuse not to have one. Pour water purification tablets and filter straws. When it comes to survival, water is non-negotiable. Without clean water, everything grinds to a halt. Food preparation, hygiene, and even basic survival. You're not looking at days, you're looking at hours before dehydration and contamination become life-threatening. That's why water purification tablets and filter straws are absolute must-haves in any prepper's kit. They're small, affordable, and often overlooked until the taps run dry or the water becomes unsafe to drink. Here's the reality: most people stockpile bottled water or invest in bulky gravity filters. While those are great, they're not foolproof. Bottled water runs out, gravity filters can break, and both take up valuable space. On the other hand, a $7 pack of water purification tablets or a compact filter straw can purify dozens of liters of water and fit right in your pocket. Websites like Happy Preppers list these items as top survival tools under $10, and for good reason. They're lightweight, portable, and capable of removing 99.99% of bacteria and parasites. Think about real-world emergencies. During regional flooding in 2024, small towns ran out of bottled water within 24 hours. People were left boiling muddy water or melting ice just to stay hydrated. But those who had purification tablets or filter straws, they drank safely, without skipping a beat. That's the kind of peace of mind you can't put a price on. Here's a pro tip: don't rely solely on bottled water. It's heavy, it's not mobile, and it's a finite resource. Instead, combine a few gallons of stored water with purification tools that can handle the rest. Tablets are perfect for treating large quantities of water, while filter straws are ideal for on-the-go emergencies. Just remember to check the expiration dates on your tablets annually to ensure they're still effective. Layered prepping is the key here. By having both purification tablets and a filter straw, you're prepared for a wide range of scenarios. Whether you're dealing with a natural disaster, a supply chain breakdown, or a complete collapse, you'll have the tools to secure one of the most critical resources for survival: clean water. 5. High-quality duct tape. If there's one item that every seasoned prepper swears by, it's duct tape. Not food, not water filters, duct tape. That gray roll sitting in your junk drawer could be the unsung hero of your survival kit. Why? Because when things fall apart, repairs become your lifeline, and duct tape is the ultimate fix-it tool. Here's the thing, people love to buy flashy gear, multi-tools, flashlights, radios. But when the system collapses, it's the simple, reliable tools that save the day. Duct tape is your silent workhorse, capable of patching, sealing, and improvising in ways you've probably never even considered. From fixing tents and tarps to sealing containers and repairing hoses, a single $4 roll of heavy-duty duct tape can handle dozens of emergencies. And it's not just theory. After hurricanes, when roofing materials run out, people have literally used duct tape to secure tarps and keep out rain. In cold climates, taped seams can prevent heat loss, and in the field, preppers have even used it to splint broken fingers or seal wounds until medical help arrives. The versatility of duct tape is unmatched, and it's a staple in every under $10 survival checklist. But here's the catch. Not all duct tape is created equal. The cheap, thin stuff you find at dollar stores won't hold up when you need it most. Always invest in high-quality brands like 3M or Gorilla Tape. These are designed to withstand pressure, heat, and time, making them far more reliable in a crisis. Pro tip, stash at least 2 rolls of duct tape. Label one for emergency use only, to keep it fresh, and toss another small roll in your car or bug-out bag. Store them in a cool, dry place to slow down adhesive aging. For added convenience, wrap a few feet of tape around a water bottle or flashlight. This gives you a portable mini roll that's easy to carry and ready to use. When supply chains break down, adhesives like duct tape vanish quickly. During the COVID-19 pandemic, hardware stores ran out of duct tape for months because it's just that versatile. Don't wait until it's too late. Stock up now, because when everything else fails, duct tape holds your world together. 6 Ferro rod and magnesium fire starter. Fire is survival. It's warmth, it's light, it's cooked food, and it's sterilized water. Without it, you're at the mercy of the elements. That's why a ferrocerium rod or magnesium fire starter is one of the most underrated tools you can own. Unlike lighters or matches, which can run out or fail in bad conditions, a ferro rod is virtually indestructible. It sparks at over 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, works even when soaking wet, and provides thousands of strikes, all for under $10. Here's the problem with relying on lighters or matches: they're finite. Gas evaporates, matches get wet, and batteries die. In a real collapse or grid-down situation, those conveniences disappear fast. But a ferro rod, it doesn't care about rain, wind, or time. It's a tool you can count on when everything else fails. According to Happy Preppers, budget ferro rods and magnesium fire starters consistently rank among the top under $10 survival items. They're lightweight, compact, and easy to carry. You can toss one in your glove box, bug-out bag, or even your everyday carry pouch. When the power's out for days in the dead of winter, that tiny rod can mean the difference between freezing and staying warm. But here's the thing. Using a ferro rod isn't as easy as it looks in YouTube videos. The first time you try, you'll probably scrape sparks everywhere except your tinder. That's why it's crucial to practice now before you actually need it. Learn how to prepare dry tinder, use magnesium shavings, and angle your strikes for maximum efficiency. Pro tip: keep a small bag of cotton balls soaked in petroleum jelly. They're lightweight, waterproof, and catch a spark instantly, even in the rain. And don't make the rookie mistake of relying solely on lighters. Fire redundancy is survival insurance. Always have multiple ways to start a fire. In a crisis, fire isn't just about comfort, it's about control. It gives you the ability to cook, purify water, and stay warm, all of which are critical for survival. A $9 ferro rod might seem like a small investment, but in the right situation, it could save your life. 7 High-quality budget multi-tool. Let's talk about the unsung hero of survival gear, the multi-tool. This compact, all-in-one gadget quietly replaces an entire toolbox, and most people don't realize just how powerful it is until they need it. But here's the kicker. It doesn't have to cost you hundreds of dollars. Forget the flashy $300 multi-tools influencers love to show off. A solid, budget-friendly multi-tool can do the job just as well, and you can snag one for under $20. A good multi-tool combines pliers, knives, screwdrivers, and more into one pocket-sized device. Websites like Survival Frog list tactical multi-tools and penknives for as little as $9.97, making them a game-changer for preppers on a budget. Why are they so valuable? Because when the grid goes down or you're stranded miles from help, having one tool that can cut, tighten, pry, or fix can mean the difference between frustration and survival. Picture this. Your generator has a loose bolt, your solar setup needs a quick wire strip, or your fence hinge is falling apart. Instead of fumbling for a toolbox, you pull out your multi-tool and handle it in seconds. That's dozens of uses, all in one compact device. But here's where most people go wrong. They cheap out too much. They grab a $5 knockoff with plastic parts and dull blades, only to have it snap the first time they use it. Don't make that mistake. Look for a steel model with solid reviews. It won't be a Leatherman, but it'll get the job done when it matters most. Prepping forums agree, a reliable multi-tool under $20 is one of the smartest investments you can make. It's compact, durable, and lets you adapt to unexpected challenges on the fly. Pro tip: oil the hinges occasionally to keep them smooth, label the bits so you know what's what, and always store it in the same pouch or pocket. When something breaks, seconds matter, and you don't want to waste time searching for your tool. A multi-tool isn't just a gadget, it's your portable problem solver. 8. Zip ties, mixed length pack. Next up, let's talk about one of the cheapest, most overlooked survival tools sitting in your local hardware aisle. Zip tie. These little plastic straps might seem boring, but in a real-world collapse, they're nothing short of a survival super tool. Here's why zip ties are so valuable. For under $5, you can get a 100 pack of mixed-length, heavy-duty zip tie. That's pennies per use for something that can literally hold your world together when systems start breaking down. Whether it's securing a broken roof sheet, tying down supplies before a storm, or bundling tools, zip ties are fast, simple, and reliable. Imagine this: a storm rips open your fence panel, or wine tears at your tarp roof. You don't have screws, rope, or time to waste. You grab a few zip ties, loop them through, pull tight, and the problem is solved in seconds. That's the magic of zip ties. They're quick, strong, and versatile. But here's the thing: not all zip ties are created equal. The cheap, flimsy ones might work for bundling cables, but they'll snap under pressure when you're trying to secure something heavy. That's why you need a mixed-length pack with different sizes and strengths. Short ties are great for small fixes, while longer, heavy-duty ties can handle structural repairs. Pro tip: store your zip ties in a labeled, dry container, so they're easy to find when you need them. And always keep a side cutter or heavy-duty scissors in your kit. Zip ties are fantastic for securing things, but once they're locked, you'll need a way to cut them cleanly. In a crisis, zip ties are the quiet fixers that keep everything holding together. They're compact, lightweight, and virtually weightless, making them perfect for bug-out bags, car kits, or barter packs. When the world starts to break apart, zip ties give you the ability to secure, fix, and improvise instantly. 9. Heavy-duty work gloves. Finally, let's talk about one of the most basic yet essential survival items: heavy-duty work gloves. These aren't the thin, decorative gloves you use for gardening. I'm talking about rugged leather or high-grip synthetic gloves designed to protect your hands in the toughest conditions. In a true collapse or disaster recovery scenario, your hands become your most important tool. If they're injured, cut, burned, or blistered, everything else grinds to a halt. You can't chop wood, clear debris, fix a roof, or even cook safely if your hands are out of commission. That's why a solid pair of work gloves is a must-have for any prepper. Think about it: after a major storm or collapse, clearing debris is often the first priority. Nails, broken glass, jagged sheet metal, they're everywhere. Without gloves, one deep cut could lead to infection or loss of mobility, derailing your entire survival plan. But with gloves, you can work smart, fast, and safe. Heavy-duty gloves don't just protect your hands, they also improve your grip and endurance. Reinforced palms and silicone or leather surfaces let you swing tools, lift gear, and carry loads longer without slipping. That's critical when you're working in wet or cold conditions. Here's the mistake most people make: they grab cheap fabric gloves from the dollar bin. Those might be fine for light chores, but they'll shred in an hour during real survival work. Instead, invest in at least 2 pairs of high-quality gloves, one for general tasks, and one for heavy-duty use. Look for gloves with reinforced stitching, snug fits, and durable material. Pro tip: Mark one pair as emergency use only, to keep them in top condition. And if you're working in wet or cold environments, high-grip synthetic gloves with rubberized palms are a game changer. They provide better control and keep your hands warm and dry. In short, protecting your hands means protecting your ability to survive. When your hands go down, so does your productivity, safety, and overall survival plan. A $10 to $20 investment in quality gloves is a small price to pay for such critical protection. 10. Sewing kit. Compact and durable. When the economy collapses and supply chains grind to a halt, the ability to repair your clothing and gear becomes a survival skill. Enter the humble sewing kit, a dirt-cheap item that can save you money, extend the life of your essentials, and even serve as a barter tool. For under $10, you can grab a compact sewing kit that includes needles, thread, scissors, buttons, and more. It's small enough to fit in your pocket or bug-out bag, but powerful enough to keep your gear functional when replacements are no longer an option. Think about it. In a crisis, you're not going to stroll into a store to replace a torn jacket or a ripped backpack. You'll need to fix it yourself. A sewing kit allows you to patch holes, reinforce seams, and even create makeshift repairs for tents, tarps, or other survival gear. It's not just about clothing, it's about maintaining the tools and materials that keep you alive. Here's a pro tip. Invest in heavy-duty thread and needles capable of handling thicker materials like canvas or leather. Standard sewing kits are great for basic repairs, but if you're dealing with rugged gear, you'll need something tougher. You can find industrial-strength needles and thread for just a few extra dollars, and they'll make a world of difference when you're repairing a torn tarp or a broken strap. Another overlooked use for a sewing kit is medical. In extreme emergencies, a needle and thread can be sterilized and used for suturing wounds. While this is a last resort option, it's a testament to the versatility of this tiny, inexpensive tool. Don't underestimate the barter value of a sewing kit either. In a collapsed economy, people will need repairs but won't have the tools or skills to do them. A simple patch job could earn you food, water, or other critical supplies. For such a small investment, a sewing kit offers massive returns in utility and trade. 11 candles, long-lasting and multi-purpose. When the lights go out, candles become more than just a source of light. They become a lifeline. In an economic collapse, where power outages are frequent or even permanent, candles are one of the simplest and most effective ways to illuminate your space, provide warmth, and even cook in a pinch. The best part, you can stock up on them for just a few dollars. A pack of emergency candles costs around $5 and can last for hours. These aren't your decorative scented candles. These are functional, long-burning candles designed for survival situations. They're compact, lightweight, and easy to store, making them a perfect addition to your prepper kit. But candles aren't just for light. In a pinch, they can be used to start a fire, heat a small space, or even cook food. Place a candle under a small metal container, and you've got a makeshift stove for boiling water or heating soup. It's not glamorous, but it works. Here's a pro tip. Invest in a mix of candle types. Long-burning emergency candles are great for extended use, but tea lights and votive candles are excellent for short-term needs. You can also find windproof and waterproof candles designed specifically for outdoor use, which are invaluable if you're bugging out or dealing with harsh weather conditions. Another tip, store your candles in a cool, dry place to prevent them from melting or warping. And don't forget to stock up on matches or a reliable lighter to go with them. A candle without a way to light it is just a chunk of wax. Candles also have barter value. In a world without electricity, light becomes a precious commodity. A single candle could be worth its weight in gold to someone who's been sitting in the dark for days. For such a small investment, candles offer incredible versatility and value in a survival scenario. 12. Baking soda. The ultimate multi-use survival item. Baking soda might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of survival gear, but this dirt-cheap pantry staple is one of the most versatile items you can stockpile. For just a few dollars, you can get a large box of baking soda that will serve dozens of purposes in a collapse scenario. First and foremost, baking soda is a powerful cleaning agent. When soap and cleaning supplies run out, baking soda can step in to clean dishes, scrub surfaces, and even wash your clothes. It's non-toxic, biodegradable, and incredibly effective at cutting through grease and grime, but the uses don't stop there. Baking soda is also a natural deodorizer, making it invaluable for maintaining hygiene in close quarters. Sprinkle it in your shoes, on your bedding, or in your bug-out bag to keep odors at bay. It can even be used as a makeshift toothpaste when combined with a bit of water. In a medical emergency, baking soda can be a lifesaver. It can soothe insect bites, relieve heartburn, and even act as a mild antiseptic for cleaning wounds. A simple paste made from baking soda and water can reduce itching and inflammation, making it a must-have for any first aid kit. Here's a pro tip. Store your baking soda in an airtight container to keep it fresh and dry. While it doesn't spoil, exposure to moisture can reduce its effectiveness over time. And don't forget to label your container clearly. Baking soda looks a lot like other powdered substances, and you don't want any mix-ups. Baking soda also has applications in food preparation. It's a leavening agent for baking, of course, but it can also tenderize meat, neutralize acidic foods, and even extend the shelf life of certain perishables. In a survival situation where every resource counts, these small advantages can make a big difference. Finally, baking soda has barter potential. Its versatility makes it a highly desirable item in a collapsed economy. Whether someone needs it for cleaning, cooking, or first aid, a small amount of baking soda could trade for something far more valuable. 13. Aluminum foil, lightweight and multi-purpose. Aluminum foil might seem like an ordinary kitchen item, but in a survival scenario, it transforms into a multi-purpose tool that can save you time, energy, and resources. For just a few dollars, you can stock up on a roll of heavy-duty aluminum foil that will serve countless purposes when the system collapses. First and foremost, aluminum foil is a game-changer for cooking. In a grid-down situation where ovens and stoves are no longer an option, foil allows you to cook food over an open flame or hot coals. Wrap vegetables, fish, or meat in foil, and you've got an instant cooking pouch that retains heat and moisture, ensuring your food cooks evenly. It's also great for baking bread or biscuits in a makeshift oven. But the uses don't stop there. Aluminum foil is an excellent insulator, making it invaluable for keeping food warm or even reflecting heat in a survival shelter. Line the walls of your shelter with foil to trap and reflect body heat, or use it to create a makeshift solar oven for cooking or boiling water. Foil is also incredibly durable and can be reused multiple times. Need a quick repair? Fold foil into a sturdy patch for a leaky container or a torn tarp. It can even be used to fashion a makeshift funnel, a windscreen for a camping stove, or a reflective signal to attract attention in an emergency. Here's a pro tip. Invest in heavy-duty aluminum foil rather than the thin, flimsy kind. The thicker foil is more durable and can handle the wear and tear of survival tasks, and don't forget to store it in a waterproof container to keep it clean and ready for use. In a barter economy, aluminum foil will be highly sought after for its versatility. Whether someone needs it for cooking, insulation, or repairs, a small sheet of foil could trade for food, water, or other critical supplies. For such a small investment, aluminum foil offers massive returns in utility and adaptability. 14. Safety pins. Tiny tools with big uses. Safety pins might be small, but they pack a punch when it comes to versatility and utility in a survival scenario. For just a few dollars, you can get a pack of safety pins in various sizes, and they'll quickly become one of the most useful items in your prepper kit. One of the most obvious uses for safety pins is clothing repair. In a collapse where new clothes are hard to come by, safety pins allow you to quickly fix tears, secure loose buttons, or adjust the fit of your clothing. They're also great for holding together makeshift gear, like a tarp shelter or a broken backpack strap. But safety pins aren't just for repairs. They're also incredibly useful for organizing and securing small items. Use them to bundle fishing hooks, secure zippers, or even create a makeshift keychain. In a pinch, a safety pin can double as a fish hook, a lockpick, or even a medical tool for removing splinters or draining blisters. Here's a pro tip: keep a variety of sizes in your kit, from small pins for delicate tasks to large, heavy-duty pins for securing gear. Store them in a small, waterproof container to keep them clean and rust-free. And don't forget to include a few safety pins in your first aid kit. They're invaluable for securing bandages or creating a sling. Safety pins also have barter value. In a world where resources are scarce, these tiny tools will be in high demand for their versatility and practicality. A handful of safety pins could trade for food, water, or other essentials, making them a smart addition to your prepper arsenal. 15. Hand crank flashlight, light without batteries. When the power goes out, light becomes a precious commodity. A hand crank flashlight is one of the most reliable and cost-effective ways to ensure you're never left in the dark. For under $10, you can get a compact, durable flashlight that doesn't rely on batteries or external power sources. Just a few cranks, and you've got light. The beauty of a hand crank flashlight is its simplicity. Unlike traditional flashlights that require batteries which can run out or corrode over time, a hand crank flashlight generates power on demand. This makes it an ideal tool for long-term survival scenarios, where resupplying batteries may not be an option. But a hand crank flashlight isn't just about light. Many models come with additional features, like a built-in radio, a USB charging port, or even a small solar panel for backup power. These multifunctional tools are perfect for staying informed, charging small devices, or signaling for help in an emergency. Here's a pro tip: look for a flashlight with a sturdy crank mechanism and a durable, water-resistant design. Cheaper models may break under heavy use, so it's worth spending a few extra dollars for a reliable brand. And if possible, choose a flashlight with a built-in solar panel for added versatility. In a barter economy, a hand crank flashlight will be worth its weight in gold. Light is essential for safety, navigation, and morale, and a flashlight that doesn't rely on batteries will be in high demand. Whether you're using it for yourself or trading it for other supplies, a hand crank flashlight is a smart, affordable investment in your survival.